Yo, what is up guys? This is Rise and welcome to another video where we are showcasing Galarian Articuno. The Galarian legendary birds have been introduced to the game just as of this week, and Lady Kaz has been nice enough to send in some footage of Galarian Articuno in action. So we're going to see how this thing performs. It's got, the legendary birds have different typings than their original Kanto or Cantonian forms. So we're going to see how these birds stack up in the Ultra League. And for Galarian Articuno, it is a flying psychic type, so similar to Lugia, and it's rocking Ancient Power and Brave Bird with the fast move Psycho Cut. So Psycho Cut's going to generate energy really quickly. Ancient Power, kind of more of a coverage move, which is really useful in this situation against Charizard. And then that hard-hitting Brave Bird in other matchups, a really aggressive farm down, and going to be able to blind Brave Bird the Lapras. This will do a ton of damage if it lands, and does over half to the Lapras. In comes Obstagoon, shiny Obstagoon by the way, who's going to get a Community Day in the not-so-distant future. In comes the Empoleon that had already been chipped. So the Empoleon went down to one counter. And Lady Kaz, aka her little, gets the win. Obstagoon versus Shadow Venusaur. Very scary. Shadow Venusaur. Opponent a little slow to swap there. And this is not the worst matchup for Talon. I believe Talon can win this in the 2 shields, straight Flame Charge. And if the opponent's going to commit these shields early, you could potentially double bait and then go for the Brave Bird. It's also a double Brave Bird team. That Flame Charge doing a lot of damage after the first attack buff. I don't hate a double shield here, but no, gonna decide to let it go and then maybe go for an aggressive counter down. Save the shields for Articuno. Not gonna counter down either, just gonna get rid of this thing and not have to eat a Surf. Gets the last shield, so probably not the best usage of a shield there from the opponent, because now they're going to be shieldless. Does get off the Skull Bash, that is something, but now Articuno is going to be very prime to go for a sweep here. Just going to shield here to be safe. Flame Charge makes sense. So in this situation, you could throw after 2 Psycho Cuts for proper timing, but gets off the Ancient Power, does a big chunk of damage. Hopefully we get to see an Ancient Power boost in one of these games. Gonna shield that one. Going for the overfarm. Once again, could have overfarmed a little bit more. But now you just need to get off that Brave Bird against Venusaur. And gets the Psycho Cut down. And gonna be able to Brave Bird the Venusaur here. Very nicely done. Articuno, bang. One shots Venu. Get out of here, Mr. Venusaur. Go back to your Pokeball. As Lady Kaz gets another win. Yeah, very cool team here. The shiny Obstagoon, the Galarian Articuno. Terrific lead against the Gira, especially if it's Shadow Claw. It's Dragon Breath though, so this is actually a pretty close matchup. Personally, I think you want to just go for the Night Slash right away. That way, if you get a boost, you boost earlier, but doesn't really matter too much. Going for another Night Slash here. Giratina charging up some energy. In comes Tapu. Doesn't have like an obvious answer to Tapu, but this is definitely, this is definitely the best answer. Kind of awkward though. Tapu definitely a core breaker for this team. Lands the Moonblast, so is probably just praying that this Brave Bird goes through somehow. Brave Bird does go through. And now you're in a much better position. If they shield that Brave Bird, you're in a very tough spot. But luckily the Brave Bird did go through. Might go for a counter down. Gets the counter down. That's huge. And Gira comes back. This Claw won't KO. But gonna shield just to be safe. Another Claw coming through. Gonna let this one go. Has double Night Slash here that might as well just spam off. Oh, it actually KO'd and gets a 1 Incinerate head start. Really nice. Really, and if this Cresselia doesn't have Future Sight, Lady Kaz is in a really commanding position. If it does have Future Sight, might still have some play. Move coming through. And it's a Grass Knot. Yeah, in my opinion, assuming this is Grass Knot Moonblast, not worth a Grass Knot bait. I think you'd want to just go straight for Moonblasts. Chip away. Single resisted versus double resisted. Another move coming through. Gonna shield just to be safe. In case they're like a crazy person. Baiting Grass Knot when they have Future Sight. Another Flame Charge coming through. Going to get that last shield. And this should be game over. Once again, I wonder if it's a single moved Cresselia. If that's the case, that matchup was over as soon as it started. And we're on to the next battle. Blaziken is the opponent. Tough lead. So probably going to want to safe swap out of here. Safe swaps into Artie. And these charms are really chunking. So you see Articuno doesn't have the most bulk to it. Gonna get off an Ancient Power. Grabs a shield, which is really nice. Togekiss doesn't really need to shield in a non-stab Ancient Power. Next one coming through gets both shields. So, although this Togekiss is still healthy, getting both shields there is pretty nice. You do kind of have to commit a shield back, because an Ancient Power would hurt from Togekiss, so I do like the shield. I think you consider just Brave Birding here to get rid of it. In comes Swampert. Now, this is a little bit tricky, because if you swap, then your Goon is going to be locked against the Toge. So I think what you do here is you just counter down and let them hit you with 2 Hydro Cannons. Yeah, I think this is the correct move here. You know Goon's going to be matched up against the Togekiss anyway. So you just let them hit you with 2 Hydros. Might get off 2 Night Slashes here. Because I think you live this charm. Just for some nice chip damage. And maybe you can put it into like farm down range. And then there's something Talonflame can one-shot and back. Gets off both Night Slashes. Toge does get to move and you kind of have to shield the Ancient Power once again. And that just has to hope Talon has a good matchup in back. Opponent's letting them farm down. Oh my goodness. It is a Trevenant. Gonna go for double Flame Charge to play it extra safe. I think could have just Brave Bird, like done 2 Incinerates Brave Bird. It would have been fine. But this is like the safer play and makes sense as well. So you don't debuff yourself and risk them living a Brave Bird, even though I don't think Trev is going to live a Brave Bird after a few Incinerates. Very nicely done. And, you know, you could argue the opponent probably could have played that better, but the Articuno safe swap is just going to be tricky for some people to get used to. It's something they haven't seen, and they don't know what moves it has, probably. They don't know how to play it, and opponent might have been thinking they're about to get hit by, like, an Icy Wind or an Ice Beam, who knows? Because they're used to that Ice-type Articuno, but Galarian version is going to trip some people up. Personally, some of you guys know, like, I played the main series Pokemon games up until, like, Generation 4. So everything Generation 5 and later on is completely new to me. So I'm going to be... So these Pokemon, these different forms of Legendaries are new to me. And I'm learning along with everybody else through Pokemon GO about these typings and such. Wins the lead, has a terrific matchup here. Opponent's staying in for a little bit too long. And then this is a little awkward. Personally, I think you commit no shields, right? Oh man, that Hydro chunks. Okay, now you might want to commit a shield, because you really need to get a shield off of this Swampers. This is a little bit uncomfortable. If you get a boost, that'd be massive. No shield, that's tough. Looks like it might have been CMP here. If you get the shield, that's massive. Gets the shield. And CMP. I think you gotta let it go, right? Gonna shield. And combo with the Brave Bird. Is the opponent gonna try and call the Flame Charge? They are. And that's gonna seal the deal, I think. Drill Run's gonna hurt now. But I think Talon can still tank it. Oh, Mega Horn. Not the play, trainer. Not the play. I don't think, right? Double resisted versus single resisted. Maybe it does more raw damage there. Maybe I'm wrong. But Lady Kaz able to close it out despite a little bit of a scary situation. With that Swampert lurking in back and a nice 4-1 set. Gets a Lickitung as a reward. And it's on to the next one. Muck versus Goon. It's a Snarl Muck, so that was actually a pretty good matchup for Goon, but switching out makes sense, right? You want to kind of lure out the anti-flyer. Shields the Dark Pulse. Throws after one Incinerate, which is proper timing. Grabs a shield. Gets this off. I like this a lot. Personally, you don't even need to shield if you don't want to. Or you could and go for the full farm down. That makes sense as well. I think either play makes sense here. Just a Dark Pulse. And gets the farm down. Gonna probably be able to Brave Bird something here. A little bit sketchy since Sirfetch'd is probably going to get a big counter down. But not that much of a counter down. And you've got your Articuno here. So playing this game like as perfect as possible pretty much. Night Slash does chunk. Super effective. So has to shield this. And you just can't let this opponent catch on the Brave Bird. Nice patience. Saves the Brave Bird. And should be in a good spot here. I think you want to go for Night Slash here. I think it is more efficient when it's neutral. But easy to mess that up. You see that ice typing, you might be thinking fighting. And just gonna have to be careful here to make sure you come out with enough energy with your Articuno that you don't allow the Sirfetch'd to outpace you. So this is a little bit scary. And yeah, once again, I think Night Slash is the play here. But that's alright. Gets off the Ancient Power, but does Sirfetch'd outpace now? I think it might. 1, 2, 3, 4. No, Sirfetch'd was dry. Sirfetch'd was dry. And gonna get off the Brave Bird. Bang! Little screenshot action. And Galarian Articuno showing the meta who is boss. There's a new legendary bird in town. Opponent swaps Crobat. Doesn't have like an obvious answer. I think Articuno is probably the correct swap here. But I kind of like this. I like letting the Crobat dish out a Poison Fang and then swapping. Okay, I would have swapped Articuno here. Interesting. Gonna be able to catch. The only reason I can think of swapping Talon here is you don't want the Wall Rain to be able to like get a big Powder Snow down on your Articuno. And this way Talon is still threatening once you come out of here. Oh wow, grabs a shield. Do you bother committing the shield? Gonna let it go. Then Psycho Cut down. Gonna go for Ancient Power here. This is a little bit sketchy. Ancient Power. There's a little chunk and a combo with the cross chop. I like this. It creates a desync in the switch timer. Gets a shield as well. In comes Drapion. Going for the Night Slash here. So here, you want to go for the cross chop. Calls a crunch. Very nice. If the Drapion gets a Poison Sting down here, that's going to be a little bit scary. So you might actually have to commit a shield here. Or do you? I don't know. Okay, gonna let it go. I think that's... No, that's probably the right call. Got a shield. But the dang wall rain, I don't think it needs a boost, right? Is that like the win con needs a boost? Ancient Power? No boost. Next Ancient Power might KO, though. Oh, nope. Not going to get there. Icicle Spirit does too much. And yeah, I think that was a very winnable game. I think that was a very winnable game if you just swap the Articuno into Crobat, right? Because your Psycho Cuts are dealing super effective, and you can spam off those Ancient Powers for super effective. But has a terrific lead here. You do have to respect the superpower from Snorlax. It is Ultra League, so it won't quite one-shot, but it will do a heck of a lot of damage. Personally, I think you got to respect it here. Going for the Savage call. What does Rise know? Nothing, apparently. It calls the Body Slam. Very nicely done. Snorlax is like one lick away, so gonna shield. Attempting to catch the superpower, but either way, you just let this go. It's a Heavy Slam. Oh my god. What? What did I just witness? A Heavy Slam? Snorlax, that's what I just witnessed. Gets the Flame Charge. Does Talon get to another here? It does. That's massive. Massive, massive, massive. Gets the last shield. Now you can consider just sacking your goon. Gonna let it go. I think this makes sense as well. You have a move that you can shield. You can get off some chip damage against something. Snorlax comes in. I think could have farmed it down, but that's alright. Better safe than sorry. Gonna get out of there, and it's Gira. Okay, yeah, I think the play is simply just Brave Bird and then get off a Night Slash, and I think you're good. And I don't think Gira can live this and get to 2. That would be brutal. Night Slash, Chunks, boost, and the counter through. That counter through should KO after the boost. Oh, one more counter was needed to do the trick. Very close game. And I'm not sure if that boost actually made the difference in the end. It was extremely close in terms of Gira getting to a second Dragon Claw there. Shiny Goon versus normal Goon. Gonna swap a Talon. I'm not sure how I feel about this swap, just because Articuno would struggle against Goon. But it's an aggressive play. I kind of like it. Opponent makes a really nice catch on a Garchomp or a Flygon. Flygon, wow. I just saw a Dragon Ground. Gonna bait here with a Flame Charge. Shadow Flygon, very cool. I think you gotta just sack the Goon. Oh man, but that opposing Goon's gonna be so hard to deal with. Oh man, this is tough. Because how the heck do you deal with that opposing Goon? Gonna save your Goon, catch a Claw. Man, that Claw chunks. I haven't really looked at the stat product, but it seems like Galarian Articuno is quite a bit glassier than normal Articuno. Going for the Brave Bird here. I like it. I think the bait just is too risky. Bang! Oh my! That's how you take out the Goon. You just Brave Bird it. Easy peasy. Got a little scared there. Went for the Ancient Power. It looked like could have reached the Brave Bird. Oh man. Has to respect it. Flygon does have energy. Just a Dragon Claw. Needs them to be like really weak to Goon in the back. Needs to see like, I don't even know. No, is not gonna happen. You're in Frenzy Plant range. Unless this Venusaur has like no charge move. I think that's the only win con. And a Frenzy Plant most likely coming through. Frenzy, bang. Takes out Goon. And probably would have been in a better spot, right, if you just played out the Goon mirror match. But I can also see, like, if you lose CMP there, that could be pretty bad too. Terrific lead here. Shadow Claw Giratina, very comfortable for Obstagoon. Dragon Breath becomes quite close since your fast move pressure doesn't do much, and theirs does. But now Giratina also has basically no fast move pressure, while your Night Slashes are hitting for super effective, and their Dragon Claws are hitting for neutral. Boost! Let's go! Let's try and see Goon put in some work. You guys know I'm a big Obstagoon fan. In comes Crest. You can just stay in here. Get off both of these Night Slashes if you want, or go Talonflame. And this wasn't CMP, so now I would actually swap the Talonflame. So you don't have to shield the Moonblast. Oh, got the double boost, but that's fine. Like, might be thinking like, oh my gosh, double boost, why would you switch out? But I think that's still the right play. Especially it looks like they don't even have Future Sight. So now you still have that Goon for later. And the fact that they were staying in with their Gira against it makes it seem like they don't have a great answer to Obstagoon. Could be like a Registeel in the back, maybe. Or Swampert, okay. Going for the Brave Bird. Swampert, such a beast, wins CMP. Gonna get off the Brave Bird here, and then should be able to dip out. So let's see if Lady Kaz dips out of here. I think that would be the best play. Oh my god, landed the Brave. Doesn't even need to now. Unreal. And yeah, might as well just go for it again. Don't even need to switch out at this point. You can just let Gira take you out. Or swap Goon aggressively. That makes sense too. Realizes Goon is kind of the win con here. So going to commit a shield on it. Can the opponent swap out? They can. But nice recognition from Lady Kaz that Crest didn't have a move. Was able to overfarm a bit. I actually lost the game today because I just totally lost track of my opponent's energy. And they thought they caught a move on me, but they didn't catch the move. I knew they were going to like swap in. I just didn't overfarm as much as I could have. So then they DM'd me that their amazing catch won them the game. And I'm like, no, I just messed up. I thought you had a move on that thing. So I just threw my move at it. But nice awareness, being focused there. And closing out another positive set with this team featuring Galarian Articuno and Shiny Obstagoon. Very nicely done. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to smash that like button. Comment down below. All comments are appreciated. And all that said, thank you so much for watching. And I hope to see you in the next one. Peace.